As part of our On Your Side philosophy, we warn you about scams and ripoffs. And tonight, On Your Side investigator Anna Song has a story about the ultimate scam that built a local woman out of $400,000.
They have 1,180 emails.
It started, as it almost always does, with an email.
I'm here as an official assignment with President Bush and the FBI director, Mr. Robert Mueller.
Promising $20 million. The money supposedly left behind by a relative of Janella Spears, with whom the family had lost contact over the years.
So that's what got me to believe it.
Janella didn't know how the sender knew the name of J.B. Spears, but her curiosity was piqued.
They say, this is your account number. You have $150,000 that you can get out of this account if you pay me $100. Okay, so why wouldn't you send over $100?
She received phony certificates from the Bank of Nigeria promising irrevocable payment guarantees of $12 million. A letter from a UN spokesman on UN letterhead, no less, saying $26.6 million would be transferred within 5 minutes into her Washington Mutual account, but only if she paid the $8,300 fee. Note the misspelling of minutes.
It may interest you,
When Spears actually began to doubt the validity of the scam, she promptly received letters from the president of Nigeria, FBI Director Robert Mueller, and President George W. Bush. Robert Mueller writes, the transaction you have with the Central Bank of Nigeria or any bank within Nigeria is nothing but legal. President Bush tells her an even more elaborate story about a terrorist apprehended at the Heathrow Airport in England with funds valued at $12 million as he attempted to launder funds to Iran for capital T terrorist activities. The messages, by the way, are from email addresses like USA White House at myway.com and FBI_investigates 2007 at yahoo.com.
I said, how come you're using this non-government address? Oh, because our computer has a worm.
Right out of the gate, the scammers got $20,000 from Spears. Over 2.5 years, they bilked her for amounts ranging as low as $50 and as high as $14,000. It all added up to $400,000.
You kept believing them because they kept telling you that this was the last step. This is going to be the end.
Right, this is the last step. This is going to be the end.
Spears had never thought of herself as foolish. She is a registered nurse. She teaches CPR, and she's a reverend. With a husband who's deaf, Spears is fluent in sign language and has officiated weddings for deaf couples. The scammers exploited her compassion.
This is the guy, Dr. Andy, who was the doctor of the lady who had cancer.
And Spears admits she became obsessed with somehow making it right.
You are not a sucker.
No.
In the typical sense.
No, I'm not a typical sucker, and you're sitting there going, how can I fall for something like that? Because, like I said, they all have these promises saying that they are going to come through and that they're sorry that this has happened to me and this is how it's going to get fixed.
Is it greed that blinded her?
Yeah, I think it was. Just the idea that she was going to be, a multimillionaire.
This undercover investigator with the Oregon Department of Justice who worked the case says Spears is the worst case he's seen. Often, he says, victims become obsessed, ignoring all the warning signs.
There was a lot of people that told her. The FBI agents told her. The local authorities in Sweet Home told her. I told her. The bank investigators told her. Everybody told her. And she just kept doing it.
Spears has a husband who can't even hide his anger. He tells us he gave up a long time ago trying to convince his wife this was a scam. She spent 2 years' worth of her own salary, borrowed against their home and car, which had been paid off, and drained his retirement fund.
He's not comfortable because the retirement that he was dreaming of cruising and going around and seeing America, is pretty well gone for him right now.
As Spears tries to pick up the pieces of what's left,
wow, I got $3.
She's sharing her story in the hope she can help someone else avoid the same mistake.
The hope is that they're not going to fall as hard as I fell.
Spears estimates it will take her at least 3 or 4 years to dig out of the debt that she created with this Nigerian scam. For more information on how to avoid becoming a victim of a scam, head to the Inside K2 section of KATU.com. Anna Song, K2 News.
It's very, very good to hear stories like this.
Yes.
Get the word out.
So sad to hear them, but
no question, but she's got a good lesson to pass along to everybody.
Absolutely.